Hello, everyone, and welcome to Week 5 of the Collegiate Chess League Spring 2024 season, brought to you by SIG. My name is Joe. I'm the commissioner of the Collegiate Chess League, and we have a very exciting Division 1 matchup here. Athens taking on Mizzou. This is Week 5, like I said, and the games have already started, actually. Let's dive right in here for round 1. Here we see Raja taking on Tagmatarxis, who is Kaleris Andreas. This is board 1 from Athens, taking on board 4 from Mizzou. This is pretty exciting. This is a Monday. Usually our matches are on Saturdays on the weekends, but these two teams have rescheduled. Mizzou was busy this last weekend, so they're playing today, and Athens graciously accepted their reschedule request. So excited to see how this one goes. I think Mizzou's definitely clear favorite. They've got 4 GMs on all 4 boards. Athens, they have Grandmaster here on board 1, but I believe that is their only Grandmaster. Now, we do have some other games going, obviously. Some powerhouse players here from the powerhouse team, Mizzou. We've got their top board, Grigori Oparin, playing with the black pieces here against FIDE Master Romanidas Petros. So, looks like Petros has castled. Both players have castled kingside. Bishop pair for Oparin. He's bringing in his queen. He's connecting his rooks. White bringing both rooks to the center. Very solid development here. So yeah, love the bishop pair. Pawn on f3 here for white, so potentially a weakness. 2 pawns in the center for black, no pawns in the center for white, but both rooks in the center. Now for both sides. Oparin over 3,000 blitz. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. 2,500 here from the FIDE Master Petros, which is still pretty good, but is definitely a different sort of league. Let's check in with the board 2 from Mizzou, Antipov. Another fan favorite here, 2940 against Vasilios. So looks like this came out of an Italian, Gioco Piano, actually, with the pawn on e3. You could tell the dark square bishops were traded. And yeah, this is actually one of my favorite openings. I basically play this every single game. So this will be a fun one for me to see. But okay. Queen to e8, maybe gonna put some pressure on a4. What else could this be planning? Maybe going for f5 at some point. Lots of material supporting this pawn break, although the king is currently in a pin. The king would have to move first, but when the f-pawn pushes, maybe this queen will come out here, this way. Yeah, and already starting to add up large time difference here, 2 minutes to 4 minutes already in the splits game. There is 2-second increment. Okay, let's tune in. Speaking with the time difference, I mean, Oparin, he's got 340 to 30 seconds. This is going to be really tough. Even though position might relatively be even, slight preference for black for sure with the pawns in the center, bishop pair. The time difference, I think, is what's going to do white in. So tough start here for Best. He's got the timer ticking, and he's moving. He heard the alarm, I bet, with the 20-second warning. He's starting to hear some bells ring. All right, a5, looking to play a4. Queen comes in here, but everything's tucked and defended, except for this, I guess. You could push. But then the knight's going to hop in to b4. So black's saying, you know what, that's fine. I'll give you the a-pawn, but maybe it's going to come at a price. And also, okay, your knight's hit. So, yeah, I missed it too initially, but then I saw it, and I guess our player Petros here missed it in the time pressure. So first win on the board for Mizzou. We haven't looked at this third game yet. This is Luka versus Tactic Thunder. That's Alexakis Dimitris. All right, and it looks like E pawn might be hanging, maybe, but then the D pawn hangs, so the bishop comes back to defend. Now the knight comes back to defend this pawn, and now if rook here, we'll see this rook drop back to defend. Otherwise, you're losing material. So kind of an only move. This is a connected pass pawn. So this is actually looking good for the Greek player. This could be a source of a point. Okay. F4 and G3. Love it. Black is undermining this defense here. If the king stepped up to defend the knight, there would have been simply a capture and then winning of material for black. And now, with the move H4, we actually see a trade. So this is a nice resource from Luka. Wow. What a tactic here from black. Bishop sacrifice on F4, saying if you take my bishop, I'm going to take that pawn back with a fork. You're going to lose your knight. So this is really good stuff here from the Greek player Alexakis Dimitris. All right, let's tune back in with our top Greek player, Andreas, playing against Raja. Raja's looking like he's doing well on the clock and probably also good on the board. So top board going to go down. Hello, Wikipedia. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, big blunder here from black. And what is this? The computer, what does it want? Rook takes e5, double exclam. I'm going to give that the double exclam. Wow. Rook takes, if the king takes, rook takes pawn is mate. That's actually a forced mate in one. Beautiful sequence here, just to show everyone. Pawn to b4. And now when the knight moves, rook takes e5, and Raja spent no time finding this. He had it all planned out. Opening up the d file, getting the knight into f6, sacking the knights, and ending with a beautiful rook takes f7 checkmate. That is a highlight game, round one here between Athens and Mizzou. Mizzou taking a 2-0 lead. Let's check in with Antipov and see if he can convert this. Looks like it's a relatively even position. White's pushing d5 to keep things closed. Rook's doubled here, but yeah, closed center. We see rook moving to the f file. White doubling in anticipation of f5, trying to break down the center. So, okay, c4, knowing that this pawn is going to be in some tension. Now doubling on the f file. So white trying to hold on here, trying to defend. And looks like they're able to. This position looks pretty dry. We might see a pawn break at some point. King steps up. So Vasilios going to try to hold this together. Let's check in with Luka and see how he's doing. Okay, so yeah. Tactic Thunder, Alexakis, board 2 from Athens. He was able to get this 2 versus 1 pawn endgame. Let's go back a little to show how he simplified from here. So really nice sacrifice, winning a pawn, and we see trade of pawns here. So it's 3 versus 1, but 2 pawns are doubled for black. But oh, look at this simplification. This is beautiful. Rook, fork, leading to the pawn fork. Giving up a pawn, but confidence in this endgame. And there you have the resignation. Luka goes down. So let me put some points on the board here. And let me tune into this last game we got going on. Let's see. Okay, so we do see some trades. We did have this move c4 from black. No. Yeah, c6. Pardon me. All right, so yeah, simplifying here. We can take here intermezzo with check. Rook takes, but this might help black. Now black has a passed pawn. Trying to blockade perhaps on dark squares. This is an opposite color bishop. Well, opposite color from the knight. Let's see. The rook was threatening a fork, but we don't want this rook to come in. So the king steps back. Still a draw, but Antipov, he's going to push with the time advantage. All right, so rook comes in. Wow, why not just take the bishop? What the heck? Why? Can someone explain this one to me? Why didn't we just take... We can go back to g5 check. Give another check, take the bishop. Take the bishop. Vasilios has an opportunity here, but he's got less than 10 seconds. Taking is easy. No, he gives another check, and now the king goes back. Now he doesn't have another check. He needed this square for the rook. I'm not sure... The computer wanted to take this, for the record. But now black is winning. Wow. A little bit of a grandmaster bluff, perhaps. You could just, yeah, check. Oh, that's a fork. Wow. Wow. Antipov gambling with a time scramble pays off big time. But Vasilios could have taken this bishop. Let's show the folks at home what would happen. After e2, we play rook to c1. And how do you promote? It's a good question, right? If you go here, well, king f2. So yeah, missed by both players, or perhaps just by Vasilios, as Antipov played the clock there. Cha-Cha saying not so easy. I agree. All right, so that's round one in the books. Let's give Antipov his point. We have a 3-1 lead for Mizzou. Although Athens had their opportunity, this could be a tied 2-2 game here. But the stronger team, the favorite, Mizzou, they're going to take a 2-point lead going into round two. Yeah, rook e6 wasn't working to rook f1 check. All right, Electro Skull, thanks for the follow. Welcome. I should be posting on other channels that I should be posting on social media. But yeah, usually these D1 matches are covered on the main chess channel, but not today. As I said earlier, this is a rescheduled match. Let me make sure I'm still following the players, because we were able to see round one, but let's see if we can have round two underway. All right, hold on. Here we go. Round two, Raja versus Alexakis Dimitris. Let's see, is he there? Is he going to start the game? They've accepted it. Yeah, I don't see the other games either. Let me take this opportunity to post on maybe Twitter. And yeah, all right. They have started their games though, by the way, so that's good. Here's what I want. Okay. Hope everyone had a good weekend. All right, we do have another game as well. We've got Luca taking on Andreas. And Luca's the only player not to have gotten a point for Mizzou in round one. So it didn't go great for him. We'll see if Andreas can punish Luca again, putting more points on this Athens team. F5 played here. taking space on the king side. Black yet to castle. 2 moves away. White already castled, fianchettoed, and early pawn push. We have 2 pawns here in the center supported by 2 knights. Some pressure on these pawns, but sufficiently defended for now. Knight here, this is a gambit. Saying if you take me, maybe I'll get you. But yeah, I'm not sure. This pawn is also weak, so perhaps just offering a trade. Typically, you favor center pawns over side pawns, but this pawn definitely influencing the center a bit. So yeah, interesting opening choice here from Luca. Moving another developed piece as opposed to developing bishops. This knight can come here once this pawn goes. So yeah, computer does like bishop c5, just develop with the tempo, with a pen. Probably will need to play e3. And maybe the knight could even hop in here. But this also gives black an opportunity to finally get castled, which they do. And now we can bring our knight to c3. Putting pressure on e4. Nope, just defending our c-pawn. So yeah, here I suppose there was this. So knight here. This cuts off the queen from defending. So this comes with a big threat. That would be a fork. So actually, I was going to say bishop b2 helps defend naturally, but the knight covers the square now. So knight c2. Looks like you're going to have to move the knight. I don't see another way to defend this. So knight c2 played, alleviating the pen, but defending this pawn. Kind of a like unpleasant move to make, right? But probably still the plan is going to be to put pressure onto the pawn and then put pressure onto the knight so that we can develop this bishop. We might also be going for this. Black could take here whenever if they wish. I don't think they would. Yeah, queen developing, getting off the d file, perhaps clearing the way for the rook, also doubling with the bishop, keeping an eye over a3. Although white has plenty of pieces, you could go there if you want, but probably don't want to. Bishop d2, saving the bishop, helping block the d file perhaps. Looking at c3. Yeah, queen leaves the d file. Doesn't want to deal with the rook. Let's see if we have other games being played. We should. Okay, we have Oparin versus Vasilios. Anyone from Athens or Missouri tuning in? Any fans? Should I start a prediction? Does Oparin sweep the Athens team? His toughest opponent will come in round 4 when it's board 1 versus board 1. Here it looks like neither side is castled, so interesting opening. Let's see. Knight in to g6 after h5 and g5. And the knight grabs the bishop. We grab on h5, h4, h takes. Yeah, this is already looking really good here. Apparently, you need to play something aggressive. Maybe here or bishop f7. Here and now takes. These are some free pawns here for Oparin. Oparin's grabbing, not asking. Okay, bishop's hit. Computer wants queen to h5. Ouch. Yeah. And it's played. rough opening choice here, or play. Perhaps it's not the opening's fault, but king is on f8. Yeah, you let the knight get in. The rook is on g6. It's hits. Bishop f7 maybe. You can take here, and then the queen can come in if you take with the rook. If you take with the king, well, that's GG, checkmate. If you take with the bishop, well, there goes your rook. So rook takes forced. No, not even taking back. Wait, I don't even, yeah, I don't know, guys. This is just game over. This is a brutal beatdown. Oparin making beating 2500 FMs look easy. All right, how much material? He's up three pawns. An F pawn and two G pawns. And better king safety, better development. There is an A pawn hanging. All right, let's see. Cool, so I'm missing Antipov. Let me see. Oops. All right. Here we go. Antipov's about to flag his opponent. And we've seen that before. All right, trade. Although, to be fair, like, our structure's not great here. He's considering taking here, I think. Or rook a1 hitting the queen. But you have to take this, and then your structure's going to be really weak, actually. Antipov, he's looking only good on the clock, to be fair. But position, I guess, relatively even. Yeah, takes. There might even be takes here. Although that gives up this pawn. Bishop here, bishop into c4. Hunkering everything down here. Tall bishop syndrome for sure. But counterplay here for white. Wow, exchange sacrifice. Taking advantage of the pin on the e-file. Fancy. And now he's got the bishop pair. He's going to use it. These are two passed pawns. Takes, sacking the exchange back. Black saying I can't live with that bishop pair. So flight square for white. Check, king up. 8 seconds, 10 seconds. Queen here. This bishop is never leaving this board. Forever hunkering down. Only chance black is to push their passed d pawn. Queen comes here to help support that. Queen comes back, offering a trade. Attacking this. If you trade, you're giving black some more passed pawns. So bishop steps up to defend. Not so easy. Where to find this breakthrough? f5. Antipov pushing it. g5. Computer wanted d3. Remember, the queen came here originally, only leaving to threaten the check. But once that was defended, black had an opportunity to push. But no, giving up a pawn here. This king can step up and try to defend this way. There's also always rook check and defends, but this king maybe wants to come out to f4. So this king comes this way. Rook comes back, saving the pawn and preventing king f4. Now this king gets into the center. Maybe discoveries, but not really. King here. Bishop's defending this pawn. So opposite color bishops. White is up 2 pawns, but the pawn structure is pretty bad and doubled, although this guy's weak. And this guy's passed as well. So takes, yeah, trying to go for mate, although there's always king here. So, okay, no mates. You could take this, but too many pawns. Look at this. Yeah, rook check, and that's also a free bishop. Antipov, he's doing well on the clock. He's really taking it to the opponents. All right, Tactic Thunder, low on time as well. Let's give a 0.2 to Antipov. Am I missing some other games? Okay, looks like Luca lost to Andreas. We might have missed that, unfortunately. This is rook and pawn endgame. 2 pawns for white, 1 for black. So Raja perhaps trying to hold on to a draw, offering this trade. Tactic Thunder could flag though, low key. But pass pawn. King has to stay on the second. Rook here is a big threat, so the king has to go here. Now the king is tied down. So now white only has rook and pawn moves. But rook cuts the king off. Now this pawn's pushing. Black's gonna just like wait. I guess we can go here and take this. White's gonna threaten to promote. Black's gonna catch it. And they're gonna trade pawns. And we're gonna have a draw. Let's look at Luca's game. Let's see how Andreas won. So, yeah. Pushing this guy. Queen takes bishop here. Sorry. Queen here and then resigned. I mean, oh, just bring the bishop. I don't know. I don't know what this position is. I don't know. Wait. I'm actually confused. Game abandoned. Oh, that's weird. Maybe they'll replay. I have no idea. I think technically by the book rules, that game result stands, but okay, let me give the draws for Alexakis, who is 1.5 out of 2, which is pretty good. Raja also 1.5 out of 2 against the top 2 boards from Athens. Okay. Yeah, this looks good for black. Black's got a lot of pieces. Wow, exchange sacrifice. But okay, you're down a lot. You're down a little bit much. We might see resign soon. Yeah, there it is. All right. Wait. Vasilia, wait. How did Oparin? I thought Oparin was doing good. Hold on. This is the same game that we saw from earlier. Queen in takes. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Where's the blunder? Check, block, bishop in, trade, castles. Wow, bishop here throws it all away. With queen to a4. Oh my goodness. He blunders a mate threat. Oh, so sneaky. Vasilios. And everything falls. Oh my goodness. Wow. Devastating. Queen a4 is the dagger. So never give up. Even Oparin can blunder, it seems. Wow, Vasilios with a huge upset win. And that actually makes it close. It's 3.5 to 4.5. So Athens fights back. They win the round and they bring their deficit down to 1. So they're within 1 point of Mizzou. Rough round for them, losing a game by abandonment, which maybe the players will agree to replay. But as it stands, it's 3.5, 4.5. So crazy round. Getting 2 wins and a draw. This Athens team taking a round off of Mizzou. Luca appears not to be on, so I'm wondering if he's there. Yeah, hope he's not having connection issues. All right, well, that's the first half. We're waiting for round 3 to start. Hmm. All right. Here we go. Round three, Raja versus Vasilios. Yeah, usually on broadcast we have a break, a halftime break. AK Jet, go Athens. Hello, Anna Kremling hype. Let's go. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, it's a close match actually, 3.5 to 4.5. Athens, they're right in it. They won round two. If they win another round, I mean, they're gonna tie it or maybe even take the lead. But maybe that's an anomaly. Maybe that won't happen. I mean, Oparin losing and Luca losing. Uh, I think Antipov the only one to get a point, a full point. So he is perfect so far. 2 out of 2. Only player in this match to do so. Yeah, Oparin. I mean, just the moment he let Queen Mate in one threat on the board and had to give up all of his pieces to defend it. So maybe not even able to really defend it. But okay, the match goes on. We've got Raja versus Vasilios. This is board 3 from Athens versus board 4 from Mizzou. Raja had a great first half, 1.5 out of 2 against the top 2 boards from Athens, mainly taking down their top board, Andreas, Grandmaster. So, looks like rest of Athens' team is FIDE Masters. Where is everyone else's game? Okay, we have Oparin versus Alexicus, Demetris. Quick castle here from Oparin. He's playing really solid now. Bring the knight out, castle. Yeah, I mean, his last game, I mean, we've witnessed an absolute brilliant checkmate from Raja. I believe that was Raja round 1. And then we just watched an insane comeback from Vasilios against Oparin. Absolutely incredible comeback. And now Oparin, he's not over 3,000 anymore. He's 2990. That's brutal. That's brutal loss. I think 500 rating point difference. So Oparin, he's got the white pieces. He's gonna play a bit more solid, I suspect here. Mizzou, they're in contention for the playoffs. They're definitely gonna try to see if they can stir up some trouble in these last 3 weeks of the season. They're behind the SLU teams, the St. Louis teams, I should say, and some of the Texas teams actually, if not both. But Mizzou also, I think, is a game behind. So I think after this match, if they hold on, they should be right back up in there in contention with everyone else. I think the main objective is teams are trying to get a top 2 spot from the regular season because that will clinch them a bye in the first round and punch their ticket straight to semifinals, which actually comes with a guaranteed prize. So a nice little bonus there. I believe right now it should be Webster in first, UTRGV in second after their big upset win over SLU just 2 days ago. 8.5, 7.5. That was a crazy one. Okay, but in this game, that's still going on. Athens, they're looking to find an upset of their own. Athens took Dallas last week, 8.5, 7.5. Really close. Athens, I combined the two teams. Dallas getting the win by 1 point, so that was really close. So Athens, they're definitely competing. Like they're keeping it close here against these teams. Hi Lionel, thank you, appreciate that. Good to see you. White's threatening to play here, by the way, to just really infiltrate the kingside position. So really solid setup here for White. Bishop perhaps coming here. Tons of time for Grigori. His opponent still on the clock. Okay, f6 from black after a long thing. So this gives up this pawn, but targets this pawn. What else are we doing here? Capturing here, I mean, this doesn't look good for black. Capture and rook takes, taking advantage of this pin. I missed that idea. I did miss this idea, so that's why Tactic Thunder is an IM, and I'm a no M. Not even in him. All right, well, black is left with an isolated queen pawn, the IQP. Bishop hits the rook. If ever bishop takes, the queen emerges here in the center. Queen takes back. Very strong, active queen. So, rook h file, threatening h2, h3, defending the bishop as well, creating a flight square, perhaps, when this queen moves. So, white just wants to blockade this d pawn, and then when the time is right, gonna put some pressure on it. So, yeah, and opponent up tons of time. Let's check in with Antipov real quick. We haven't looked at this yet, so hitting the queen here. Yeah, Antipov and Oparin, both with the white pieces. Knights connected, so this knight moving, and we see a queen sacrifice for the two rooks. This is technically a fair trade, but queen takes a pawn for it, and this bishop's pinned. But yeah, it's queen versus two rooks, but you got a pawn as well. So technically even material. This pawn is also loose. This pawn might become a passer, which you got to watch out for. So very interesting how to play this one through. I'm not sure. But yeah, like you would love to just double, but in that threatens checkmate too, by the way. But maybe not dropping a bishop with check. So rook comes back to defend that b pawn. Doesn't want to give up two pass pawns. And now we have h4 defended by this knight, looking to stir up some trouble against these knights. So we see knight hopping into f4. And now the bishop develops with the tempo. Bishop blocks here, knight here. This is very intriguing. If bishop takes, queen takes, there's a check. King has to step up. Technically, I guess you could have blocked, but now, wow, this is a tactic. I don't think anyone would see this. Bishop takes f3. I mean, I myself don't see it, but that's incredible. Yeah, we have the trade here. I don't understand what bishop f3 was. Can I show what would happen? I gotta turn on Explorer. Hold on. If takes, oh, rook takes, just a simple discovery. Okay. Well, missed. I suppose, from both players. So, yeah, I don't know. The rooks, they're not coordinated right now, but they don't really need to be necessarily. The knights are connected. Very low time for Andreas. Oh, we have a result. Vasilios, after the upset against Oparin, he falls to Raja. Trade, trade. Yeah, lots of sacrifices. And an absolutely empty king here. Getting chased down the board, and that's forced mate. Wow. Dude, Raja is just putting on a clinic today. Absolute brilliant chess. Sacking pieces left and right. He's having a field day out here against the Greek team. Okay. Still, low time for Andreas. He picks up a pawn here. If knight takes, rook takes. So knight here. Trade here. And if you take the rook, there was a knight fork, winning the queen. So taking back first, saving the knight. Rook check. Can't quite go here, can we? Pawn's pushing. This pawn's pushing. Looking for a passed pawn. Trade, and now this push. I guess we just take. 11 seconds, 10 seconds. Not sure what the idea is here. Maybe just trying not to flag. Meanwhile, Oparin also looking to flag his opponent, although fairly even rook and pawn endgame. Defending. Kings step up. This should be able to hold a draw, even with low time. Increment should be enough on this one, I suspect. But we've seen blunders in other positions. Here we haven't looked yet. Luka versus Ramadidis Petros. Let's see. Luka seems to be up a pawn, it seems. We need rook e2. We need to defend f2. So both these players have about even time. So probably I'll want to stick to... This one's looking very drawn. Let's maybe keep an eye on this one. This is the most interesting. Queen versus two rooks. So white has made their pass pawn, right? Back when the rooks and queens were traded, white was able to grab a pawn, and now we see it looks like there's a lot of pressure on the knight. So we should probably trade it, and then the rook will retake. Now we can push this pawn. Queen here. This is crazy. There's a rook check and then a double. Wow. That is very important detail. So it's actually not easy to hold on to this. I think this is just a draw, but the rooks actually might end up becoming better than the queen. So queen steps up, keeping an eye on this check. And if takes here, there are probably some forks you got to watch out for, like this, for example. So defending the pawn tactically, pawn push, breaking this diagonal from the fork. And now you can play maybe queen here. Yes, but there's always check and double. But this king maybe is a little weak, so you got to watch out for these mating nets. Queen here, keeping an eye on all of this. If rook takes, there's queen takes. Rook here cuts the king off from entering and perhaps delivering a checkmate. Queen to take on f6, and now if you take here, you're going to get pinned. So 2 pawns versus 1 yet again after that promotion. But should be dead even. Check. King up. Perhaps. But should be a draw. Oparin won his game. So he's 2 out of 3. Bouncing back. Wow, did they really trade the rooks? Let's see how this one happened. Rook trade, and now this is good for white. Wow. Crazy. Yeah, he needed even g4 check is decent. Even rook takes is a draw. But these are literally the only two moves. The only two moves. Anything else, allowing this, and now white just boxes the king out and gets the win. Wow. Crazy. Okay, so Mizzou's up by 2 again. And this position also looks even, but wait, hold on. 2-pawn advantage for white, actually. But the computer doesn't like it so much because everything, I guess, is blockaded. But Luca's got low time. I guess, wait, his opponent has even worse time. They might just draw it. Okay, going after the g-pawn. Rook here. Check. Wait, we take, and then we take here. Take here now. And then rook here. I mean, black might play for the win. Yeah, white has such little time. 1 second. Oh my god. Okay. I mean, should still be a draw, but I mean, I've said that so many times and it never worked out. So, what's happening? Check. Another check. King back. Another check. With just a draw? There it is. So they draw, and same time, Antipov draws against Kaliris. So, let's put some draws on the board. Luca gets on the board. Who did Luca draw? Luca drew Ramanitas. So he gets on the board. So 4.5, 6.5. And did I miss a game maybe? I think I missed a game. Did Raja get a win? I think Raja won. Yeah, Raja had a big point actually. So that actually puts Mizzou at 7.5. That was a really good score, a really good round for Mizzou. I think 3-1, right? 2 wins on their top and bottom board, and then 2 draws in the middle, giving them the round 3-1, and now giving them a 3-point lead. And I think they're going to close it out in the 4th round. They need 1 point, and they should be able to do that perhaps on multiple boards. So round 4. This is the top lineup. GM versus GM. Andreas versus Grigori. We have both sides fianchettoing their bishops. C5 contesting the center. C4 from white. A trade. The knight can develop with tempo. I don't see why not. This bishop still needs to find a home. Either you fianchetto or you push the e-pawn. Luca and Vasilios have started their games. So Athens needs a sweep here in round 4. Don't think they can do it. Knight here, taking advantage of the pen. Andreas just continuing with development. We see a trade. Going to double white's pawns, or trade the bishops, or both. I guess black technically could have declined the trade, maybe, with d5. But no, trading bishops first. Now playing in the center, d5. White could maybe just continue, but we see this trade. Yeah, trading off. Even draws are good for Mizzou, but I suspect they'll go for some wins. Bishop on the long diagonal. This is kind of annoying because now this bishop can't move. This bishop can't leave it. So, yeah, rook c8, just taking an open file. Very sensible. Perhaps to attack this well-placed bishop. Also hinders this development. We have Antipov playing against Alexakis. This is a Roy Lopez with knight back to e7. Rerouting to g6. Antipov with the black pieces. h3, taking g4. Bishop to e7, getting ready to castle. Bishop tucks back opposite the king now. Playing in the center. d4. Queen to c7. a4 taking space on the queen side. Let's see. I'm missing one game, Raja's game. And Raja's been playing phenomenal. Some phenomenal games. And here it is. Board 4 is here. And Raja castles queenside. This is an open Sicilian. So b4 gets in, and now look at this fancy pants move. Bishop c5. I mean, look at that. Just taking advantage of this pin on the queen. And Raja's saying, listen, I've castled. I've connected my rooks. What are you doing? I have 3 attackers on this pawn, plus your knight's hanging. And if this pawn is pushed to try to defend this, I mean, you're going to just lose the queen. So what does the computer want? Well, it wants knight a2, which is not so easy to find. Knight a2, knight takes, and then rook c8. Funny. That's actually kind of funny. You're defending your queen, breaking this pin, and you're pinning the bishop to a mate threat on c2. That's a wild defense, and Petros is using a lot of time to try to find something. He couldn't find it. To be fair, it's not easy, but I guess you should always look for checks, I guess. But here, now you can take on d6. And the computer actually wants the exchange sacrifice. Rook takes d6. Because, well, if they take, then our bishop takes, and black is never castling. Or worse, probably queen takes, and that's a fork. Threatening mates and the knights. So, rook takes, really nice shot from Raja. Let's see if he plays it. He's got plenty of time to look for it and find it as well. So, yeah, final 4 games. Final round, assuming Mizzou puts it away. Or Athens sweeps, but by the looks of it, and I think heading into it, no one was thinking that would be possible. Let's take a look at the other games. So, Oparin playing solid. It's pretty drawn-ish. But weak pawns for white, for sure. Going to be tough to defend this guy. And this guy might become a pass pawn. So, potential for Oparin here. You don't really want to go passive, I'd imagine, but drawn position nonetheless. Let's take a look at board 2, Antipov and Alexakis. So Lexicus is 1 a pawn, actually. Let's take a look at this. This was a Roy Lopez. So, wow. Bishop takes. And the computer wants to take on d4 and then take here. But Antipov respected the sacrifice and gets the knight to f4. We see a trade. Another set of trades. Even more trades, yeah. Weak pawns here for black, but an open g-file for black. Yeah, definitely white is for choice. So we'll see if Antipov can hold or come back there. All right, let's look at board 3s. Luka's been struggling today, although one of his games was lost by abandonment, apparently. Bishop all the way back to a1, tucking this guy home. and forever going to be pointing at this king. So at some point, if this knight leaves, we could threaten mate here. Love the bishops. Completely open position. And there's a lot of room here, potential for sacrifices. So f5, the computer actually liked black. White had given up a pawn at some point, or lost a pawn. And we see black play f5. So this is a little weakening. Computer doesn't like this so much. And so we see just a simple knight retreat, and now this pawn's hit twice. What are you going to do with it? Queen's going to come up here, by the way. Right? So f-pawn pushes, they weaken the king. Computer here wants bishop to f6, targeting this bishop, which is actually hanging, which is kind of funny. But not so clear to me what exactly this does. As okay, I guess this isn't a 4. This is defended twice. I don't know what I'm thinking. This pawn, though, I guess is a goner. So, I mean, if you push this, I don't know. I don't know. We might have something crazy at some point. Okay, knight hits the queen. The computer hated this move. Once queen c2, which is kind of crazy again, but okay. Honestly, it's tough to play chess. Like, it's easy for me to commentate. I have an eval bar and the computer telling me everything. Vasilios here, less than 20 seconds. Luca, just under 3 minutes. This is looking really difficult to play. Luca's grabbing a pawn, though, with tempo, by the way. Bishop saves itself. Pointing at f2, which is defended. Queen steps up. That's a fork. Wow. Wow, Luca. Oh, my goodness. That's defended, too, by the way. Bishop takes. This allows the queen to come out. Queen takes f3. They seriously both missed this. Queen takes f3, only move. I don't know what Luca's thinking about. Luca's thinking about sacking. But no. Yeah, queen takes, he guards this. What a miss from Vasilios in time scramble. Unbelievable. Queen here, that's a fork. Don't see how you get out of that. You can just pick this up? No, you can't. Wow. What does the computer want? The computer wants to take on g7. Crazy. It still wants takes on g7. Wow. Okay, knight here instead. Now knight h6. That's a fork. Yes, that's the mate idea that was missed by Vasilios. Man, Vasilios, he could have won a queen. Instead, he gets his own queen forked. Brutal. Mate in 1. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Lucky game there, but the time scramble. Luca's time management pays off. Raja also getting a win. So the wins start flooding in. And yeah, I mean, Raja just playing some brilliant, brilliant games today. Really an honor to have witnessed these games. Just beautiful chess. Just beautiful. All right, 2 games left. We've got board 1 and board 2. Let's give the points to Raja. He went 3.5 out of 4. Really brilliant. Luca getting his first win of the match. So Mizzou clinches the win. And we're down to these top 2 boards. So let's see. Bishop and 2 pawns versus bishop and 1 pawn. So c4, b4 when the time's right. Bishop's probably going to... Okay, goes here. Computer's really liking white. Really likes the extra pawn. So, Antipov looks like he's struggling. He might go down here. How's Oparin doing? Oparin's good on the clock. Check. King back, king up. Looking to grab this pawn. This is a pass pawn. But it is watched over here. But, I mean, check and take, I guess. Should just be a draw. Should just be a draw. Let's see Antipov here. Oh my goodness. Computer. What are we thinking here? Probably this or what? Yeah. Here and now, the threat is that this is pinned, so we see it resigns. Antipov goes down to Alexakis, who gets a positive score, 2.5 out of 4. The point leader. Let's see if Andreas can hold this draw in time pressure. Let's see if Oparin can push it. So he can take on f2, but now rook f8. Yeah. Check first, interestingly. But this is just a complete draw. So who knows? Who knows? Yeah, takes, king up. Rook cuts the king off. Probably just like rook here. Yeah, pawn push. Okay, trades. All right, so a draw on that last board. And yeah, Oparin finishes 2.5. Andreas finishes 2 out of 4. But yeah, the main difference here, board 4. I mean, Raja, 3.5. No losses today. The only teammate from Mizzou to have no losses, and he's board 4. So congrats to him. And he just, yeah, absolutely lights out today. Raja had some brilliant sacrifices in games. Definitely want to look over those again and share them. And the board 4 from Athens only getting 1 draw out of 4. So that was the real difference maker. Athens goes down. Mizzou wins 10-6. So solid performance by them. And shout out to the Athens team for rescheduling to today and being accommodating. But yeah, I mean, 6 points against Mizzou. This is a tough team. So I think those are actually, it's a pretty respectable score. Taking down Oparin and Antipov. You don't see that every day. Lower board had a lot of times trouble. Yeah. We make the playoff. I think you guys are still in the race. It might be tough. Let me actually, I wanted to take a look at these playoff standings. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you guys are ahead of Chicago and Prague. So you guys technically are in the playoffs, although it might be close with Chicago. Chicago beat Prague, but it hasn't been put in yet. So I think you guys might be behind Chicago, which is actually crazy because Chicago hasn't been in the playoff spot at all this season. So it's getting close here. We only have 2 weeks left, you guys. 2 weeks left of the regular season. Only 2 matches. So Athens plays against Prague and UTRGV last. So Athens versus Prague is going to be a big one, especially considering Prague is dead last. They haven't won a match yet. So Prague is going to look to beat up their international rivals in Athens. Athens maybe going to try to take advantage of their weaker opponents to try to help their playoff standings. So lots of drama left, but this has been a Week 5 Division 1 matchup here. Mizzou getting the win against Athens. Thanks everyone for watching. Really appreciate it. These were some fun games. Shout out to Mizzou for the win, especially Raja, 3.5 out of 4 score. And we will be back this weekend. Also, later this week on Thursday, we have a special podcast guest. So hope to see you all. Tune in for that. All right. This has been a lot of fun. I will see you all next time. Take care.